brothers and sisters, I really feel great honor you invited me here and to have an opportunity. Mainly, I prefer exchange, interaction with youth. So then, of course, I have been few occasions here, and actually, I think in 60s I came. Then Pagularimchi there, and many other my old friends. Now many of them no longer. So since then, I think a lot of development, and particularly in the field of education. So Ladakh, when I come first, not much progress. Then now last few decades, a lot of development and transform Ladakh society, more or less modern society. So all these Popular Rinpoche, I think, made tremendous contribution regarding transformation of Ladakhi society, like that. And of course, there are many other people, like Sonam Nobu Marbe. So it is really worthwhile to remember, you see, his, because of the great contribution. And later part of his life, he spent in Mongolia. There also I noticed, you see, as far as Mongolian Buddhist community, he really made some significant contribution. I think, frankly speaking, regarding discipline. So, Mongolia, I think since 13th century, the Buddhism from Tibet reached there. And then, the third Dalai Lama, Sonam Gyatso, reached there, and I think really developed a serious Buddhist study till revolution. After revolution, great damage. And then after getting comparatively more freedom, that was in 1979. The Pagula Rinpoche. After that, eventually, I think the Buddhist Kasa, Asian Buddhist, now I can't remember, you see here, I think picture, one conference, Pagula Rinpoche there. So he, I think, significant some contribution. Now important is, we have to look future. Past is past. Now future on global level, the beginning of this 21st century, generally speaking, I think much better than 20th century. Even within 20th century, early part of 20th century, later part of 20th century, there is a significant sort of also change for better. I think everywhere, world, I think people about violence, I think the people completely fed up. So, genuine desire, peace, I think very, very strong. I always telling the spirit of European Union till end of Second World War. These different nations, they say, always fighting. Since the European Union start, I think at least last, since then, I think member state, now no danger, carry mobilized violence, like that. Imagine, if European Union not developed the last few decades, I think some violence between these member state or these states. This is not come by force, but through experience. It is much better live together harmoniously, mutual respect. Then too much emphasis, we fight, killing. So I feel that's one sort of the greatest significance of change within 20th century. Now we are 21st century. Although some unfortunate things happen, particularly in Europe and Africa, this area. But these, I feel, the negligence of 20th century and 20th centuries is in the human sort of thinking. Whenever some sort of problem there, then always, you see, think how to solve this by force. That's the way of thinking of 20th century. Now 20th century gone. That kind of thinking is also gone. And furthermore, the world much interdependent in economy and most important, environment. No national boundary. And a global economy also no national boundary. And meantime, because of global warming, the nature disaster will increase. And the human population also increasing. And our living standard, I think, among 7 billion human beings, many people still remain under poverty, like that, and including starvation. So if we just carry our old way of thinking, then problem will increase. So now we need a mental attitude according to the new reality. I always is telling a sense of oneness of humanity. That so your neighbor, occasionally some problem with your neighbor, but still consider part of human family, part of humanity. Whether we like it or not, we have to live side by side. So, and then modern scientists, now they say the constant fear, constant anger is actually eating our immune system. So, the destructive emotion, very bad for our health. And then, obviously, according to our common sense, see the family, where family may be very, very rich, or even millionaire or billionaire. But among the member of the family, little suspicion, distrust, then that family, so they become very unhappy family. Even beggar, very poor, among their family, full trust, genuine friendship, even poor quality of food, but they enjoy. So, use our common sense. Each individual want happy life. Then happy life, firstly we are a social animal. We have to live together. So live together with mutual trust, mutual respect. Then, of course, secondary level, there are differences. Races, different nationality, and also different religious faith. But they are secondary. All these religions are religion of human being. So basically we are same human being, humanity. No matter how differences, we should think we are same human being. We have to live together on this planet. So, and then a scientist also they found through experiment. One occasion, I also there. So they, through their study or investigation, they say basic human nature is more compassionate. So when I heard that, I really felt, oh, there is real hope. If human nature is more anger, then there is not much hope. Then better to pray to God, please eliminate world. Other hand is a human being, more compassionate nature. So logically, according to theistic religion, we created by God. What kind of God? Full of love, full of compassion. So we are children of that kind of Father. So naturally, in our genes, some kind of God sort of genes, right? So that is love. Wonderful. The theistic religion, Creator, very powerful. No theistic religion say God is full of anger. So all, believe God is infinite love. We created by such Father. Wonderful. Then non-theistic religion, like Jainism and one part of Sankhyaism and Buddhism, no concept of creator. But everything depends on oneself. Then, all sort of happiness, satisfaction is helping other. Because other, at the basis of our survival, we are a social animal. So no matter how powerful individual, but his or her survival entirely based on the community. So community is the basis of individual happiness. Therefore, use our intelligence, helping other, bring more happiness on other. You get immense benefit. So these things, actually showing human being really appreciate love, compassion. Therefore, all religion of human being carry main message is love. Like that. So now, 21st century, we should make effort. And if you believe prayer, then you should pray. But sometimes I'm a little bit skeptical. Prayer brings individual some inner sort of peace. Wonderful. But for world affair, prayer, I don't know. Action. So we call karma. Karma means action. So things depend on our action. Action depend, or the action, whether successful or whether positive or negative, is depend on emotion. Or motivation. With good motivation, compassionate motivation, then the effort you can carry your effort with full confidence and transparently. Any action motivated by self-centered attitude, then always you feel something height. You cannot carry transparency. Without transparent, very difficult to develop trust. Without trust, you cannot develop friendship. We social animals, we need friendship. Very basis of friendship is trust. Like that. So therefore, I think through scientific finding and our common sense, we can develop this world more compassionate, more sensible world through education. So here, now this institution, of course, in the terms of 7 billion human beings, this institution is very small. But part of the 7 billion human beings, you can make some contribution. Firstly, you can contribute Ladakh society. And then through that way, Jammu Kashmir and other states. And in this country, large number of Muslim brothers, sisters there. You can make some kind of the impact the rest of Muslim brothers, sisters in this country. Now today's world, unfortunately, a lot of killing these Arab countries. And the worst thing, in the name of Shia and Sunni, name of religion, and in Egypt, name of Christian and Islam. Although it's a northern island, the name of Catholicism and Protestant. And then, even Burma, Buddhist country, you see some problem between Buddhists and Muslim. So there are many problems on this planet, in economy or power. That's understandable. But conflict in the name of religion, unthinkable. Although in the past, even in Tibet also, you see, within same Buddhist, so different head of color, or head, or some different small sort of differences, sometimes fighting. Shameful. So now we are 21st century, more civilized century. Now these old, narrow-minded, short-sighted thinking is outdated. Now we have to work well-being of humanity, well-being of 2nd century. So now here, you see, because of the religious harmony, and also you see harmony among the Shia and the Sunni, and among Buddhists and Christian, Islam, wonderful. In Ladakh, any Jewish community? No. And any Parsi? Follow Saraswati. No. I wish some Jews, some Parsi, and then you can say, oh, all major religious traditions live together. So in any way, so that's wherever I go, I always talk these things. I am Buddhist practitioner. Each day we pray entire sentient being. Then, when I think more realistic way, the sentient beings of other planet, other galaxies, we cannot do anything, just a prayer. On this planet, other sentient being, limitless, animals, birds, fishes, we cannot do anything. Only 7 billion human beings. So then, if we pray for entire sentient being, then we have to work, we have to do something. Then practical level, only human being. So 7 billion human being, we have to sort of think seriously how to bring peace through inner peace. So that I want to share with you. Now, I would like to have some questions and answer.
Here is the first question from Sheikh Hussain Ali, Imam Jumaale. If you are here, can you please stand? Sheikh Hussain Ali. So this question goes like, first, what is meant by unity in religion?
Karsa. As already mentioned, you see, different religious belief, but live together with sense of human brothers, sisters, human community.
And second question, should there be one religion in the world?
No, impossible. Over, I think, since Sangha philosophy, I think more than 3,000 years. Even within one country or one continent, India, say the Sangha philosophy, and then gradually many others of different non-Buddhist tradition, and then Jain philosophy, then Buddhist philosophy, and then you see even within the follower of Buddha, there are different mental disposition. So Buddha taught accordingly different philosophy. So therefore, you see, it is fact. Among people, among human beings, there are different mental disposition. So therefore, and also you see, a mental disposition related with environment. Environment creates, you see, different cultural heritage. That makes certain differences of mental disposition. Right? So therefore, we need variety of religion. Religion, I think, more or less, you say, carry the same message of love. But the method, or philosophical background, or concept background, we need different philosophy, different concept. All same aim, promote love. So wonderful. So the different religious tradition, last 2,000 years, this different tradition remain there, will remain another, I think, a few thousand years may remain. And after 10,000 years, I want we don't know what world become difficult due to global warming, or century by century, more, then this water dry. Himalayan mountain, no longer snow mountain. Then I think different world come. Then eventually we die. We eliminate,
Become extinct.
extinct, like that. So then no longer any religion.
Thank you, Your Holiness. The next page is from Lobsang Nobu. And the page says, Your Holiness, these days I am disturbed by the religion-based school in Ladakh. Example, Imamia, where Muslim students are preferred to go. And example, Lamdun, where Buddhist students are studied. So my question is that all experts and religious heads always give talks on harmony, communal harmony, but if the children of Muslim and Buddhist community were separate from school time, it will lead to separate society one day. Your Holiness, how this separation can be reduced?
가서.
This question is from Lobsang
London Model School Daya Kaji in Imamia School in the Chungune, Bukat, Labdokra, Jesus, Dandy Sampala, Chudu Tundi, Chizona, Tundi,
I think education and religion, I think different also the different subject. So education for Kasoda, regardless, even firstly, believer or non-believer, no differences. Then among the believer, Christian, Islam, Buddhism, you see, I think should not make differences. Then religious teaching, I think separately, you see, teach. I feel that. But you know better, the Ladakhi affair should decide by Ladakhis, not by me. I think education, basically, I think should be secular. The education field, I think, should teach the human good quality, warm-heartedness, sense of love, without touching religion. That's on education field. Then student already develop conviction, warm-heartedness is key thing for individual happiness, happiness of family, happiness of community, and finally, happiness of humanity through education. Not talking about God, not talking Buddha, simply scientific finding and common sense. Then student really develop conviction about this deeper value. Then different religious tradition teach them, further strengthening the deeper human value. So as I mentioned briefly, is the concept of God, creator, very powerful. And the concept of law of causality, very powerful. I feel that. But I don't know.
Thank you, His Holiness. Next question is from Sheikh Ruwe, Government Girls Higher Secondary School representing Kashmir. The question goes like, we are from Kashmir, a place-loving nation. But unfortunately, the present continuous worst circumstances have put us in trouble, and the worst thing is that the student community has suffered a lot. Sir, what you are going to suggest to the stakeholders for bringing peace in the region and simultaneously safeguarding the future of the student community, which is considered as the future of any nation?
이게 영향 속인데 지금 시대 위에다 되게
Now, Kashmir problem. Since independence of this country, it's a problem. It's a start. And I really feel when Sheikh Abdullah there, my first meeting Sheikh Abdullah is because of Tin Mudin survey, Nehru's home. And then Sheikh Abdullah already spent a few years, I think, sometime in jail or something, house arrest or something. Then Pandit Nehru invited him. First, first meeting in Nehru's home. Then, a few occasions, I visited Jammu and also maybe, I think, Srinagar. And anyway, I really felt, now this is a real good opportunity to solve the problem. But then, eventually, I think not solve this problem. And then Pakistan. Also Pakistan's government itself not very stable. In any way, sometimes I feel, as I mentioned, I'm one of admirer of European Union. So many years ago, Bigno Babaji, I met, I think, in 1956. And he, great sort of was a spiritual leader, at the same time, I think, great thinker. So once he expressed the concept of A, B, C, and I, B, maybe. That means A, Afghanistan, B, Burma, C, Sri Lanka, then India, Pakistan, some kind of federation. If that kind of vision materializes, and I think today's Afghanistan, I think must be more peaceful, and Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, some extent, and Pakistan. But that, and I think Mahatma Gandhi really sort of want not partition. But then I think Pandit Nehru, I think insist he want to be Prime Minister. Mahatma Gandhi, you see, very much willing give Prime Ministership Jinnah. He's thinking very wise. But then, not happened. So now today, some problem there. I don't know how to solve. You should think, particularly youth, must think and make effort. The public level, you see, develop certain sort of because of the concept, clear vision. Then few politicians, you see, cannot manipulate. Among the people, not very clear, and some sort of negative feeling, negative emotion, then the political leader very easily manipulate. Okay. So ultimately, answer is your hand, in your hand. So you should think more, and this possibility, that possibility, like that. It is very important.
Thank you, Holiness. I've got a page of Rinchen Dorma and Simon Vincent, journalist, and it says that Your Holiness, Ladakh has been known from history for exhibiting exemplary communal harmony, but at the same time, it is important at first to maintain harmony within the community. In Ladakh, over recent times, the issues of sectarianism within Buddhist community has been coming up at various occasions. What's Your Holiness's view on that?
주로 탱게 이슈지 자진이 링도스 나타 너무 지도시 된다.
그나마도 나보다 가지 말아봐. 거도. Oh yes. Buddha stated kindu tuba tewa de tuba namji kudub de sumri.
So the Buddha said that the harmony amongst the monastic community brings happiness.
Kindu tuba tewa de tuba namji kudub des.
And when there's this the harmony, then the practice also is going to bring peace and happiness.
So, the Buddha already advised us we should be harmonious. So since Buddha's own word not much effective, then my word no effective.
The next question is from T. Amju. The page says, as we know that there is no caste system in Buddhism. Before 20 years, His Holiness came to Ladakh and he himself clearly told us that there is no caste system. So how can we overcome this in our society which still exists? T. Amju.
Good. Yes. When I think early part my visit Ladakh, I heard some sort of discrimination due to their professional or something like that. So then, at that time, I heard there was the people who drumming. So I deliberately approached to them, shake hand. I think one picture, I think here or something. They say, I took their instrument, go like that. Of course, I know something, because when I was in Potala, when I was young, I found you should do that. Ding, 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 ding. So I found one opportunity to practice that. So in order to show, you see, we should not sort of look down these people. And Sanskar, few occasions, I asked my tea, at the sort of teaching, tea and bread, or turkey, you see, should carried by the consider low caste people. Many times I mentioning that also is Buddha made very clear. Any deken nyawal korki kangbala any gabu kasongotuya sondo. Not working. Oh yes.
So the Buddha mentioned that in my tradition, my religion, family lineage or caste system is not the important thing. What is important is the practice of the teaching itself. And then also the Buddha said that even someone from a barber's family, who was considered a lower caste in India in those days, someone from lower caste like Arhat Upali must be respected, and at his feet even a king must touch.
So therefore, you see, there are some cases, I think, social sort of habit, some sort of damaging Buddhist sort of tradition. Now in mainland in India, caste system, very bad. Untouchable sort of people. I often used to telling when we gathered some religious leaders or some intellectuals, I always mentioning the caste system is actually very related with feudal system. The upper class people, in order to justify exploitation, the worker, they say, oh, your caste only work. We, upper caste, is a certain right. So that's why French Revolution, the religious leader, you see, use their faith in order to carry the feudal system, exploitation. So revolution come. And Russia, the Tsar, I said they are elite people, too much exploit. So Bolshevik revolution come. So therefore, these caste system is very much related with feudal system. Now feudal system gone. Now democratic sort of system or society. So even in the name of some sort of ancient culture, heritage, a certain influence, impact from feudal system, you see, that must change. How to date it? So that's my view. So particularly in Ladakh, you see, still if there is some sort of discrimination that you have to oppose. Firstly, I think ruling side, they themselves, I think, should act civilized way, according to Buddhist teaching. Your backward thinking, outdated, must change. Initiative must take from upper class or from monk, from leaders. If you carry continuously, then you need revolution. You know, 1954, I went to Peking, and about 5 months I remained there, and I met Chairman Mao Zedong several times. He really great. At that time, I really respect him. Great revolutionary. So one time he expressed to me, he considered Buddha Shakyamuni was a revolutionary. When Buddha come, caste system, very strong. So he totally against that. So like that. So therefore, you see, these old thinking should end. Now we go to now 21st century, and I also is mentioning many occasions when I give some teaching to Chinese Buddhists and of course Tibetan Buddhists. You see, we should be 21st century's Buddhist. The traditional way, or some dancing, or some puja, and these, of course, part of our practice, but that's not important. Important is study. Transformation about our emotion. The Buddhist doctrine, like the Pattita Samupanda, on the basis of Pattita Samupanda, Shunyata, Anathma theory, is a really powerful weapon to engage, to combat our destructive emotion. So this is our duty as a follower of Buddha. For that, you have to study. Without, just a prayer, not change our emotion. But our emotion change only through use our intelligence. Analyze the reality. External thing, as well as internal system of our mind, system of our emotion. The positive emotion have a solid basis. sufficient reason. The destructive emotion, no solid basis. So that we should use, for that use, we should use our intelligence fully and analyze. So that is duty of follower of Buddha. Like that. So these are the real teaching of Buddha. Not somehow certain pujas or certain sort of system use musical. I often telling the Nalendra masters, the Nagarjuna, Aryadeva, Nakabodhi, and Buddhapalita, when they gathered, I think, Nagarjuna, I think never used the Kasati. And Aryadeva, Kasa, Tungtanje. I don't think. So they use our intelligence, maximum way, through that way, transform our emotion. Not through prayer, not through recitation of a mantra. Like that. So therefore, now whether we accept Buddha Dharma or not, up to individual. If you want follower of Buddha, we should study Buddha's teaching and practice and transform our emotion. Similarly, Muslim practitioner, Muslim brothers, sisters, or Christian practitioner, same. Thinking God, Creator, Allah, full of love. We have to follow His teaching. So day-to-day life, His main teaching, love, should be part of our daily life. So all major religious tradition. Then non-believer, still human being, want happy life. Then analyze, think. The main disturbance of our happiness is within ourselves, not outside. So therefore, even non-believer want peaceful life, happy life, successful life. And you should think, you should take seriously about our inner world. In this respect, I think ancient Indian tradition, including Buddhism, a lot of explanation about mind, about emotion. In order to tackle emotion, you should have more knowledge or awareness about system of emotion, system of mind. So that is, I usually describe, in education, we also include also the hygiene of physical. So similarly, we should have hygiene of emotion. Not these information come from religious text, but you should not consider these are part of practice of religion, but these are common use and the subject of academic subject, and as well as logic. Like great Buddhist logician Dignath at Dharmakirti. So their logic, of course, they use their logic according to Buddhism. We should make separation. Buddhism for Buddhist. But pure logical approach is for everybody. So logic, very important. So now some scientists also use it, really showing, after 30 years of discussion, serious discussion with scientists, mainly cosmology, neurobiology, then physics, particularly quantum physics, then psychology. After more than 30 years, we both now learned mutual benefit. We learned many useful information about Big Bang or all evolution, these things. Very useful, very helpful. To scientists, the ancient Indian psychology, they really find immense valuable information like that. Then quantum physics, they just the beginning, the understanding about reality. So they reach certain level. So they say things, an external thing does not exist by objectively. Everything depends on observer. Then the question of where is observer? What is observer? No answer. Scientists not yet developed. The Nalanda tradition, 2,000 years ago, not only external thing, or reality of external thing, but also observer. So in this country, 3,000 years, the concept of Atma. That's observer. Then Buddhist tradition come, no independent observer. So the Anatma theory. So these things in this country, I think, are highly developed. So as far as quantum physics is concerned, the modern scientists, they reach certain level. Then furthermore, not yet sort of clear. Then Buddhist concept is highly developed, so very helpful to them. Then psychology, of course, the ancient Indian psychology, highly developed. Modern psychology, Tikare, what is that? What is that box? Some sweet. Oh, very good. So yesterday we have full lunch. Now today some of them I think because of mini lunch. So like that. So I think the non-believer should be more compassionate non-believer. Wonderful. Not just think money, power. That's, I think, that kind of view is due to lack of knowledge. What is the ultimate source of happiness? Not on money, not on tea, not on lunch, but you see, mental attitude. Same person, with the same sort of physical pain, one have certain mental attitude. You see, due to different mental attitude, one on top of physical sort of pain, a lot of worry in mind. So that person really unhappy person. Then another one, physically same illness, same pain, but mentally different attitude. So that person, even you see mentally more happier. Oh, this physical illness may reduce my negative karma. Or God, you see, create that, there must be some purpose. So thinking that line, the physical illness can reduce. Feeling, serious feeling of physical illness can reduce. So that make differences. Physical level, same. But because of different mental attitude, one still remain happier. Another one very much thought was hopeless, because of miserable, like that. So even as a non-believer, you should accept that reality. So should pay more attention about our mind, about our inner world. Like that. And then believer, you see, use different philosophical views, different sort of as a concept, must use for intensified about our ultimate sort of or value. That's love, compassion. Like that. No? Oh, still. This was the way. Oh, still some time. More question. More difficult question. You have every right. What kind of question? Ask me. I also have right whether answer or not.
Thank you, Your Holiness. And now the next question is from Dr. Holiness, Project Director, LREDA. The question is, can meditation practices play an important role in communal harmony?
Meditation. There are variety of meditation. Broadly speaking, meditation, two types. One meditation, single-pointed meditation. That also is useful. Some student, your mind always just go here and there, not concentrate on because of the subject to study. So here is some training, single-pointed mind, some help. But that's effect of that kind of meditation is limited. Now, use that as a first sort of the foundation. Your mind channelize, focusing one particular sort of thing. Then analyze the thing which you study or you're thinking. That really affects our mind. So as I already mentioned, as for Buddhist, you see, analytical meditation, we call vipassana, shamatha and vipassana, analytical meditation. So, the non-believer, I think both analytical meditation and the single-pointed meditation is relevant. Like that. Then next question.
Thank you, His Holiness. Next question is from Dr. Majid, Srinagar, Kashmir. He says, esteemed sir, is there any scope for me to join hands in any of your associations to work for the peace?
Kosa. Koro kaji. Any? Of course, welcome. Religious belief is individual matter, individual business. Work for peace is common responsibility. Promotion of harmonious society, religious harmony is our common responsibility. You know, many years ago, I think at least maybe 10 years ago, one, my close friend, Catholic monk, really wonderful Catholic monk. And he also strong supporter about Tibetan cause. So he often, we often used to discuss about our common practice. how to promote our love and sense of forgiveness, tolerance, and contentment, all these things are common practice. So, and then also single-pointed mind. Also, we have more information. The Catholic practitioner, not much information, so we can share. Then one day, he asked me about shunyata, emptiness. Then I told him, don't ask that. That's not your business. That is Buddhist business, I told him. And similarly, I think two years ago in Bangalore, one Hindu, Swamiji, he really helping to providing food, meal to few thousand students. Wonderful. He invited me. We talk. Then I told him, practice of Shila, practice of Shamatha, practice of Vipassana, we have common practice. Then the differences, Atma and Anatma. I believe Anatma, you believe Atma. That's private business. So like that, I think religion should consider private business. The serving society, serving other, that's our common responsibility and religious harmony. So, you are background Muslim. So most welcome. Active sort of kasoda. Active kasoda. Active sort of engagement to society, promotion of religious harmony, promotion of harmony in general. So, no problem. And then, when daytime more problem happen, then night or early morning, pray to Allah. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Holiness. Now we are left with two more important questions. So I have got a question from Siring Mutu. And it says, please comment on role of teacher, parents, religion teachers, media reporters, social media in maintaining this social harmony in Ladakh. How we should protect our religious harmony.
I think firstly, teacher, very important. Teacher not only give explanation about certain subject, but teacher should show student your sincere sort of sense of responsibility of the future of the student. That's the proper way to introduce value of compassion. Without sort of real feeling or sense of concern of your students' or long future, and talk love, and then empty word. So, firstly, teacher should provide maximum love to your student. And then parent also have very important in order to develop peaceful world, compassionate world. Parent and teacher have very important role. Then yes, then certainly the religious teacher also have very important, must sort of emphasis the real message of religion is love and use different philosophical views. And I think even today, I think the Buddhist school, I think should teach, like Nalanda Master, in their writing, all existing different traditions and different philosophy mentioned, like Acharya Baba in his sort of text. At that time, because of that, at that time is existing all different traditions is mentioned. So in order to develop religious harmony, I think students should know, Buddhist students should know Islam, Christianity, and Judaism, and so on. And Islam student also, I think, should have some sort of knowledge about the teaching of Buddha or Jains, so on, like that. So from young student, young age, already then develop, there are different sort of religious tradition, each beautiful sort of philosophy, beautiful, effective sort of way to promote this basic value. Okay. That's in a media way. Media, firstly, in modern time, media, very important role. And secondly, democratic country, media, I think, have very great role. And meantime, I often used to telling when I meet, you see, the media people, they also have the responsibility for promotion of basic human value. According to my experience, number of occasions, some questioner asked me, basic human nature is negative. So eventually, I think future of humanity is doomed. That kind of sort of impression. So at that time, one occasion, you see, that question I answer. Media usually, you see, bring the news negative side as more sensational. Good part of human nature, not much mentioned. That take for granted. I think media say, 1,000 people, children, getting immense love from their parent. Then readers say, that's normal. And then one father abused his child. Shocking. That become news. So you see, news often brought negative side. Then people, not much sort of thinking, then people get the impression, basic human nature is more negative. So not much hope. That I think dangerous. So media people must present all these sort of negative things, including corruption. The lamas corruption, politicians corruption, I think, imams corruption. So these, I think, must make clear. At the same time, media, I think, should make a presentation of basic human nature, positive. And here, for example, Ladakh, in spite of some drawbacks here and there, basically very harmonious, very compassionate society, like that. So that I feel. So then people have the opportunity to judge, make more balance. Like that. That's my view. Thank you.
Thank you, Holiness. Last but not the least, we have two very similar questions. One from Faisha Firdos, Government High School, Kulgam. She says, "Dear sir, why people trust you? Can you tell us the reason?" And another one, Sivam Nundu Vivek, Your Holiness, how did you manage to win the hearts of all the religious people in the world? Your Holiness is the real hero and the perfect example of religious harmony.
거사. 거도. 왜? Oh, I see. Yes.
And another one,
My smile. If I remain like that, I think then people feel, oh, because of the angry Dalai Lama. And then, of course, and actually, I'm student of ancient Indian psychology. And then also, you see, some experience how to deal negative feeling. So and then the sense of oneness of humanity. I telling other people, I myself also, you see, thinking that when I meet people, regardless of what background, including religious differences, I always look human being, human brothers, sisters. I never consider I'm Dalai Lama. His Holiness 14th Dalai Lama. I never consider that. I'm just another human being. So I can easily, you see, deal with other people. Even president or great leader, when I met, I always look human level. Human level, I sort of today attracted, impressed. Then, like President, George W. Bush. Human level, very nice person. Our first meeting, some cookie come. Then I just express, oh, which one better? And he immediately say, oh, that's better, that's better. So that's the human. Some other president, when I met, they really consider they are important leader, president. Then I have to watch. So I have to watch my time. And now I have to leave. So the human level, trust, friendship develop entirely on human level, not official position or even education, no, or money, no, human level. I believe that. Therefore, I myself acting on human level, then easily, you see, interact like that. So therefore, I think one reason wherever I go, you see people showing love towards me. So that's, I think, main reason. And then to some extent, one old person, now already 82 years passed. So my life, age 5, I left my own birthplace. And then in Lhasa, so some people describe Dalai Lama in golden cage. A little bit isolated. See, though because of the playmate survey. Like that. And then study. I was quite a lazy student. So my tutor always keep one whip to threat me, unless you study well. So then, see, my elder brother and myself studied together at, I think, few years. So 2 whips. 1 whip, ordinary whip. 1 whip, yellow whip. So suppose that yellow whip is holy whip for Holy Dalai Lama. Then I know that if use the holy whip, there are no differences of holy pen. So out of fear, I study. Then at 16 age, I lost. We lost our freedom. Simultaneously, also I lost my freedom. Meantime, then I took the very, very complicated, heavy responsibility about Tibet at age 16. Then, 1954, went to Peking, meet, as I mentioned earlier, including Chairman Mao Zedong and many other leaders. And at that time, I very much attracted about Marxist revolution. So still today, as far as socio-economic theory is concerned, I am Marxist. So Holy Dalai Lama become Marxist. Still I believe. I think original Marxism, I think wonderful. That concept is developed at the circumstances in Europe, industrialization coming. So worker too much exploited. So therefore, he sort of stand the right of workers' right of workers, and workers are less privileged people, and the majority. So his stand, I think, very right. And then his economic theory is equal distribution, very right. So, therefore, and he also mentioned self-creation, wonderful. Then I feel Lenin, I think, spoiled that wonderful sort of theory, wonderful sort of ideology. He used the Marxism as a sort of shield. Actually, his mentality is wartime mentality, suspicion. And tight control and merciless suppression. That's a wartime mentality. That wartime mentality eventually become part of socialism or Marxism. Totally wrong. So the Soviet Union eventually, I think, dictator and closed society, no free information. So wartime, such practices some relevant. But that wartime mentality become part of that great system. And Chinese Revolution, early period, I think real sort of enthusiasm, serving people, serving working class people, because of proletariat sort of spread there. When I visit Peking, 1954, And I very much impressed those party members. They really dedicated people. When I met non-party member, then you see some sort of talks about good weather or something like that. When I met a party member, we really talk about reality and how to change, how to further develop. So there is a real sense of dedication and determination. I really very much impressed. But then eventually, 1955, 56, and 57, then spoiled this genuine spirit. And then they only, the wartime mentality become more dominant. Like that. So then, age 24, I lost my own country. And then come to, as a refugee, not only look after refugees, but a lot of sort of mental burden inside Tibet. So then I realized, the training of mind really immense helpful to keep peace of mind. So I survived. Without that, I think I may become mad Dalai Lama, or you see, our training. There's some training.
Transference of consciousness.
So I may
Transference of consciousness.
From here, hick, then go outside. Then this body remain dead body. But you see, I have this more problem, more determination, more enthusiasm. Basically, I have plenty of reasons to be optimism. Okay. Thank you. Many people still remain poverty way, under poverty, like that, and including starvation. So if we just carry our old way of thinking, then problem will increase. So now we need a mental attitude according to the new reality. I always is telling a sense of oneness of humanity. That so your neighbor, occasionally some problem with your neighbor, but still consider part of human family, part of humanity. Whether we like it or not, we have to live side by side. So, and then modern scientists, they say the constant fear, constant anger is actually eating our immune system. So, the destructive emotion, very bad for our health. And then, obviously, according to our common sense, see the family, where family may be very, very rich, or even millionaire or billionaire, but among the member of the family, little suspicion, distrust, then that family, so they become very unhappy family. Even Becker, very poor. Among their family, full trust, genuine friendship, even poor quality of food, but they enjoy. So, use our common sense. Each individual want happy life. Then happy life, firstly, we are a social animal. We have to live together. So live together with mutual trust, mutual respect. Then, of course, secondary level, there are differences. Race, contribution. I think, frankly speaking, regarding discipline. So, Mongolia, I think since 13th century, the Buddhism from Tibet reached there. Then, the third Dalai Lama, Sonam Gyatso, reached there, and I think really developed a serious Buddhist study till revolution. After revolution, great damage. And then after getting comparatively more freedom, that was in 1979. The Pogolo Rinpoche. After that, eventually, I think the Buddhist Kasa, Asian Buddhist, now I can't remember, you see here, I think picture, one conference, Pogolo Rinpoche there. So he, I think, significant some contribution. Now important is we have to look future. Past is past. Now future on global level, the beginning of this 21st century, generally speaking, I think much better than 20th century. Even within 20th century, early part of 20th century, later part of 20th century, there is a significant sort of also change for better. I think everywhere, world, I think people, about violence, I think people completely fed up. So, genuine desire, peace, I think very, very strong. I always telling the spirit of European Union till end of Second World War. Brothers and sisters, I really feel great honor you invited me here and to have an opportunity. Mainly, I prefer exchange, interaction with youth. So then, of course, I have been few occasions here, and actually, I think in 60s I came. Then Pogolo Rinpoche there, and many other my old friends. Now many of them no longer. So since then, I think a lot of development, and particularly in the field of education. So Ladakh, when I come first, not much progress. Then now last few decades, a lot of development and transform Ladakh society, more or less modern society. So all these Popular Rinpoche, I think, made tremendous contribution regarding transformation of Ladakhi society, sorry, like that. And of course, there are many other people, like Sonam Noru Marbe. So it is really worthwhile to remember, you see, his, because of the great contribution. And later part of his life, he spent in Mongolia. There also I noticed, you see, as far as Mongolian Buddhist community, he really made some significant. These different nations, you say, always fighting. Since European Union start, I think at least last, since then, I think member state, now no danger, carry mobilized violence, like that. Imagine, if European Union not develop the last few decades, I think some violence between these member state or these states. This is not come by force, but through experience. It is much better live together harmoniously, mutual respect. Then too much emphasis, we fight, killing. So I feel that's one sort of the great significance of change within 20th century. Now we are 21st century. Although some unfortunate things happen, particularly in Europe and Africa, this area. But these, I feel, the negligence of 20th century and 20th century's, you see, the human sort of thinking, whenever some sort of problem there, then always, you see, think how to solve this by force. That's the way of thinking of 20th century. Now 20th century gone. That kind of thinking is also gone. And furthermore, the world much interdependent in economy and most important, environment. No national boundary. And the global economy also no national boundary. And meantime, because of global warming, the nature disaster will increase. And the human population also increasing. And our living standard, I think, among 7 billion human beings, different nationality, and also different religious faith. But they are secondary. All these religions are religion of human being. So basically we are same human being, humanity. No matter how differences, we should think we are same human being. We have to live together on this planet. So, and then a scientist also they found through experiment one occasion, I also there. So they, through their study or investigation, they say basic human nature is more compassionate. So when I heard that, I really felt, oh, there is real hope. If human nature is more anger, then there is not much hope. Then better to pray to God, please eliminate world. Other hand is a human being, more compassionate nature. So logically, according to theistic religion, we created by God. What kind of God? Full of love, full of compassion. So we are children of that kind of Father. So naturally, in our genes, some kind of God sort of genes, right? So that is love. Wonderful. The theistic religion, creator, very powerful. No theistic religion say God is full of anger. So all, believe God is infinite love. We created by such Father. Wonderful. Then non-theistic religion, like Jainism and one part of Sankhyaism and Buddhism, no concept of creator. But everything depends on one